What we do here is go back.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Occasionally Outdoors. Today we're doing something a little different. I tried this last time. I tried to make a video out of it, out of actually using it, but got no luck. I built a set line, or a trot line, I guess, if you're from down south, just out of what I could figure out how to build it out of. But we had some problems with it. I think we have some improvements I can make, so I figured I'd just show you guys. In Utah, which is where I live, can't guess, you can have a set line up to 15 hooks. It has to be attached to the shore. It can't be attached to like a pole, or it has to be basically tied off to a tree or a rock on shore. You have to get a set line permit. It costs you 20 bucks on the DNR app. You have to tag it. You'll see all this tomorrow when I actually do it. But you have to tag the end of your line with your name, your address, your license number. That way you're all legal and good to go. So I'll show you what I got going here. So basically I just tied a Gatorade bottle off the end of it as a weight and threw some stones in there. You're not gonna be able to see the whole thing on this because it's just turned into a big tangled freaking mess, which is what we're gonna fix today and hopefully change some things so we don't have that problem in the future. So all I did was just 550 cord, paracord. I came down like 2 feet on the first one, and then I went about 2 to 3 feet in between each one. So just made a little square knot, threw a swivel on, and made another square knot. And then off of that, this is 60-pound braid, which I think is more than I will ever need, but I figured it would never break until I have to cut it today. I'll show you on this one because this one's not tangled. So 60-pound braid coming off of that down to, I need to go figure out what size hooks these are, but they're too big. I know that. So we're gonna go smaller hooks on this one. You can see the size of it. I was hoping to get a whopper, but didn't work out. So I'm gonna get this all tore apart. I'm gonna cut all the hooks off of it, undo all the square knots. Okay, all done. I started to untie it and got into the big heap, and it was just way too, I didn't have the patience for it. So I ended up cutting everything off. So these hooks I was using are 4/0, I guess that's how you say it. Octopus hooks. I think they're too big anyway. I mean, nothing bit. Or like I put chicken livers on and all the chicken livers were gone, but there was nothing on the hook. So I don't know if they just sucked them off the hooks and they were too big for their mouth or what. So we are gonna go smaller. Yeah, I built this and I never planned on taking it apart, but we're learning. Swivels I had on, which is one of the things we're gonna switch, were size 3 swivels, just big enough to get that. I don't know if you can see, big enough to get the paracord over. We're gonna get rid of those too. I'll use them for something, I'm sure. So same concept. Find the end here. What I'm gonna do with this Gatorade bottle too, I don't know if I'll show you or not, it's not that, you don't need to see it. It's got a few stones in it, but I'm gonna drill a bunch of holes around it so that way I can throw it out, it'll fill up with water, and then when I pull it out, it should drain and shouldn't be too terribly bad to pull up. So this, you can use lead if you want. I just use Gatorade bottles because I have them laying around all the time, and they have this little ridge here that the rope just snugs right up here too. So those were 4/0 hooks, going to a size 1 octopus hook. Show you the size difference. Kind of see the size difference there. So we're gonna go with the smaller ones, and hopefully they're not too much. I mean, we don't have we're not in the South, or we don't have 60-pound catfish out here. We probably do, but not where I'm going. So that's the first change. Second change is going to be these swivels that are actually a lot bigger, bigger swivels, but they're gonna have a clip on them. My biggest problem, I mean, that last setup worked just fine getting it out there. It'd be easier if I had a boat, but we didn't. It was pretty interesting the way we set it out. I'll show you that. Yeah. That'll work, yeah. My problem was when I pulled it in, I didn't really have any way of putting the hooks away without it just turned into a big tangled mess like you saw, and that's what I'm doing with this. So we're just gonna put these swivels on with the clips, and that way I can just take my little lengths of line with the hook, and as I pull them in, I can unhook them. I can bait all my hooks up tomorrow a lot easier, and then that way I can just clip them on right before I'm gonna throw it out, clip it, and give it a toss, and then yeah, should help eliminate tangles and just make the whole thing overall a lot easier. Trusty little piece of foam pool noodle here. I'm gonna use that to store my hooks. I'll show you how I tie everything on here once I get going. I'm gonna go, I don't know, 3 feet from our first weight. We're gonna tie just a square knot. This is the part where I'm just gonna have to keep running line through. So just an overhand knot, square knot, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, this is just the way I'm doing it. So we're gonna grab one of our clips, gonna go all the way to the end of the rope. I keep a lot of slack, or I guess unused rope at the end, just so I have one more to add if I ever want to add more hooks, because I'm not going to do the 15 hooks like I'm allowed. I'm going to do about whatever's in that package, I think 8, just because I don't have a boat to set it out, so it's hard to get it set out without more than one person. So run that all the way into your square knot there, can't go past that, and then we're just going to tie another knot right next to it just to keep that in place. I'm sure there's a way I know there's a way that's more organized. Actually, let me show you how to do it. There you see though, can't go past the knots. Okay, and let me show you a way to make this a lot easier on everybody involved. Okay, so that's my knot. I got all my clips there, bunched up. Probably should have showed you this at the start, because hopefully you're not following along and just did what I did. So move those down. I got my one clip. Make a big enough loop to push my rope through. Pause. And pull that bunch through. This is kind of far away, so I'm just going to work that down. Because you only need a couple inches in between. So yeah, there you go. I'm going to continue that. I'm not going to bore you with it. So you can see there's 1, 2, and I'm just going to keep going. So that's all done. I got 8 total clips. Like I said, if I had a boat, which is on the agenda for one day, this would be a lot longer. I'd do all 15 hooks. I'd stretch it out as long as I possibly could. The weight on the end would probably be, at least have a buoy tied to it so I could just pick it up, run it in the boat as I go, but this is kind of built specifically for what I can do right now. If you guys are just trying to try a set line from shore, I think it'll work perfect, but you can just make a couple modifications if you're on a boat. The main gist is there. Already cut 8 lengths, 8 strips of, this is a 60-pound braid, Power Pro, 65-pound braid, Power Pro line. So there's a couple ways you can do this. If you want to make it, here, let me show you. So I got this white shirt out, just so you can actually see the knots. Hopefully you can see the line that I'm using. So if you want to be real simple about it, you can just run your ends together like that and just tie one big loop. That's all you gotta do. That's pretty strong. I think you'd be fine with it if you're not planning on going after monsters, but I don't really trust it. So I'm gonna do, it's gonna take a little longer, but it'll probably never break either. So I'm gonna do what's called, I don't know what it's called. It's a line-to-line knot. Basically, if you had 2 lines like your backing and your main line on your reel, this is how you would join it. But we have 1 line, so we're just gonna loop it over itself. So you have like a cross like that. Give yourself enough leader to play with. So basically you're just gonna take this side, wrap it. You see that loop right there too? We're gonna leave that. I'm gonna wrap it 5 times. 5, maybe 6, I don't know. And then come back up through that loop. And I'm kind of gonna just hold that with this hand. Sorry, I'm probably all over the place. I can't see what you're seeing. Same thing on this side. If I can wrap it 5 times. 3, 4, 5. And it's gonna go back up through its loop. Maybe. Get in there. Okay. And then I just kind of grab both. This is probably the worst knot tying video you've ever seen. Grab both those ends and both these ends and just start snugging it down. You can see. And then this is where I wet it. The old mouthy. And that should just snug down onto itself just like that. And that knot is about as strong as it gets for line-to-line knots. That thing will never break. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that 7 more times, and then I'll show you how to tie the hooks on. Okay, so I got 8 of those. They're a little shorter than I would have liked actually, but maybe with the smaller hooks it's not gonna matter anyway. Catfish aren't really line shy. I don't think they're gonna be scared of being up close to a rope. Just take your hook, take your line. It's already doubled over for you. Just pinch it. Go up through the hook side. So as you can see, that's just on there. We're gonna go over the hook. And then through our 2 middle ones there, and then over the hook again. Just basically just go over it twice. It just makes that knot a lot stronger than just doing it once. Ow! Stabbed myself.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Casualty. So, same thing. Show you it twice just in case you missed it. It's just hard to get on camera. Props to those guys that are good at this. Through the hook side. So you can see it's just through it now. Over the hook. Kind of spread these. So put your loop back through your other side and around your hook again. Then just tighten that down. Make sure when it tightens down, it's not like over this part of the eyelet. It's cinched back down on itself. And that's it. Do that a few more times. I got 8 of these. So I'm gonna keep them off the line until I'm actually ready to go, but I'll show you. I mean, you can just unclip, ow, and clip them on when I'm ready to go. Probably bait them all up first. And then clip them on, toss them out, and then as I pull it out, I can just unclip them, set them on my trusty pool noodle here
That I gave you.
that Emma gave me. Hopefully it's a little bit better design than the last one. If you guys want to see me use this thing, check out the next video because I'm gonna go out tomorrow and try it out. Also, I bought something. Bought this thing. I don't know how to use it, but we're gonna figure it out. It's PSE Kingfisher. Got it off Amazon for like 150 bucks. So if you want to get into bow fishing, it don't get much cheaper than that. All the reviews are good. I haven't shot a bow since I was a kid. I mean, and I only shot it like twice. So I wasn't good at it. So we'll go sling some at some carp tomorrow while we're catfishing. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I guess I'll see you in my world tomorrow, but in your world probably next week.
Yep.
We'll go hopefully catch some catfish with this. And yeah, thought I'd do a little different video of actually building something that you guys can use. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys. See you next time. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Catch you later.